So we were really excited to scale up the business, and we were aiming to double the size of our business for 2020. We were on the projection of doing that until March when COVID hit. So it really kind of destroyed the business.
Welcome to Shopify Masters, the weekly podcast brought to you by Shopify, the easiest way to sell online and in person for a streamlined experience. Each week, we invite entrepreneurs like you to share what they've learned growing successful businesses. This is Shuang Esther Shan from Shopify, and I'm helping our host Felix Thea share a story from Province Apothecary, a vegan and cruelty-free skincare line that showcases natural ingredients from the provinces of Canada. In this episode, you'll hear from founder Julie Clark. Julie shares why she started to experiment with natural ingredients for skincare, how Province Apothecary gained coverage from Vogue, Goop, Refinery 29, and other notable media outlets, and how COVID-19 has changed their business. Before you hear the conversation with Julie, we actually wanted to hear from you. At Shopify Masters, we love to bring forward stories from founders and share what they've learned in their business journey. In efforts to bring you an even better show in 2021, we would love to hear your feedback. So fill out our listener survey at shopify.com/survey or click the link in this episode's description. Now let's dive into the show. Today we're joined by Julie Clark, founder of Province Apothecary, a all-natural, vegan, and cruelty-free skincare line that showcases ingredients from Canada. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, I know that starting a business is so personal for everyone, and for yourself especially, it all started with your skincare journey. So tell us how Province Apothecary came to be.
So I started Province Apothecary in 2010 because I've had eczema my whole life, and I was 27 and I just hit a point where I was tired of using steroids on my skin. As a kid, I always thought I was going to be a dermatologist and help people with their skin, and then I went a little bit more creative and got into styling and costume design, and just really got immersed in that. But I always had eczema, and it was really quite horrible. It was diet and stress. And I just, hit a wall of being like, this is not going away. I need to do something about it. So the journey started a little bit before 2010 when I started researching how to blend ingredients and going to health food stores and trying natural products. I, tried to make my own products. It was a total failure. I put toasted sesame oil in some lip balms and tried to give them to friends, and no one wanted to use them. So that kind of showed me I needed to find a mentor or teacher to really teach me how to make skincare. So I found a school in Toronto called the Institute of Aromatherapy, and I learned how to become an aromatherapist, a holistic health practitioner, and then I learned aesthetics from her as well. So I started blending products and seeing clients for facials, and I just fell in love with doing it all and just wanted that to be my life.
Mm-hmm. And I know that, interacting with clients and getting them to try out ingredients and products is such a personal experience. So how do you go from that to then packaging the different products and actually creating products ready for sale?
So it was a lot of trial and error. I started, I worked for my teacher, and we were really lucky because we actually got to make products for local farms that were producing their own lavender essential oil, and we got to take that essential oil and make it into bath products and skincare. So it was really fun. I got to learn how to blend all the products and make products firsthand within the school, and then also see clients for their treatments. And I just kind of started taking that information, and her products were 100% green and clean. So I really wanted to go a step further and only use organic ingredients. And then I really wanted to source from every province in Canada, because I was kind of just thinking about what we had around us and how our local ingredients I thought would really help with, the season changes, and we could find ingredients to just help support our skin, was my initial thought with starting the business, and where the name comes from Province Apothecary. It was just a little bit of, learning how to make the products, combining them with the treatments, and then having clients ask for stuff when they leave. They wanted to take the products home. So I just had to start making products for them.
Now, once you have the products created and you're confident with some of the formulas, how did you go about starting to market to people outside of your client circle?
So I started a website, so got my .com and, put it up there, and no one came. So that made me realize, okay, I needed to get out and start talking to people. So I started going to flea markets and farmers markets and seeing customers there and handing out business cards and a lot of discount cards. So I was like, here's 15% off or 20% off to the website, just to help drive people to my site. And then that just kind of went from there. So I got new customers trying them. They'd buy products for their friends or, that first holiday season was the biggest one I'd ever experienced. And it was really great because it was, I gave incentive to buy gifts, etc. to people. So farmers markets and little pop-up markets were really helpful. I found that interacting in person with people was the best way to really introduce them to the product.
Mm-hmm. And I think that makes a lot of sense because those who start selling online, they feel like, oh, I'm got my website, it's going to go viral, but actually a lot of the interaction needs to happen in person, especially with a product like yours that is skincare. People need to know the person behind the brand, and they get to kind of build that trust and understand your product.
Totally. And Instagram wasn't really, it had just started, I think, at that point, and it was very new. We were using it as a way to share what we were doing, but it was not what it is today, where you can launch a brand on Instagram and actually get sales from it. At that time, it was really, really new. So I think, yeah, like you said, getting in person into experience was the best.
Let's talk about press, because you have so much coverage, from Vogue, from Gwyneth Paltrow. So many notable media outlets and individuals have noticed Province Apothecary. Let's talk about why press is so important for starting a business.
So some great advice I received really soon after starting the business was invest in press. So get a PR agent as soon as possible. So I didn't have any money and had no money to put into press, but I just kept waitressing to be able to afford a PR agent. And it was really important because it really helped kind of bring more attention to the brand. We were really small. Green Beauty wasn't really big, right, in Toronto at the time. So we were really lucky to get people like Vogue and W interested in what we were doing. And so I find press is important because it really helps bring more visibility. More people will see it. The Globe and Mail, will go nationally for Canada. And, my mom could share that with her friends, and more people could see the brand and have visibility to it than just having it in a shop or just having it online. So I think if you're starting a brand, if you can just put a little bit into press, if you can afford even, a part-time PR agent, it would be really helpful to launch your brand or launch your product.
Mm-hmm. And then I know for you personally, you were still working another job, but yet you still made that within your budget to make sure that you did have someone to look after press. So just to show that once you invest in this area, it also snowballs, because then other media outlets will notice your previous coverage as well.
Exactly, yeah. And once one person starts talking about something, then more people start noticing it. And then for us too, we would get more retailers because of the press. So someone would see us in a magazine or a newspaper and then reach out to us to carry us. So it really did help kind of expand the brand quickly.
Now that you have the media attention and also the retail partnerships coming in, how did you handle scaling the business and moving into a bigger stage for production?
So we're currently in the process of scaling up the business, and it's been every year we've actually either moved or expanded, my small apartment to a larger space in Kensington to a storefront on Dundas. So every year we've been gently scaling, and then 2020 we really wanted to double our production and double our sales. So this year has been the year that we've really wanted to scale up in a big way, and we as a business owner, I've been having a hard time with scaling up. It's not something I'm good at. So my business partner has a lot of experience in scaling up businesses, and then we have an operations director that's also very good at scaling up. And we're going to bring on someone with supply management experience as well to really help scale up the business. It's been a challenge since day one of how to scale up products. It's really complicated. We have a lot of inventory, so that's been kind of the biggest challenge we've had. But yeah, with the right team and the right people that have experience, it's going to happen, and it's currently happening. We're just figuring it all out.
Mm-hmm. I think what's important that you mentioned is the different teammates that you have, and as well as your partners. So I guess for yourself, at what stage did you realize, you need to expand the team and also look for people with skill sets that complement your own?
Pretty quickly. So, right away I just started hiring friends. I was like, got too many orders, didn't know how to fulfill them myself. It was a disaster, really, looking back at it. So right away was like, who can work for me? Please, anyone. So at first it was really just like whoever could be there. And then slowly I started looking for the right people. So as the team grew and as the business grew, we could afford to bring on another esthetician with the right skill set. My business partner, Natalie, she showed up in 2015 by recommendation of our mutual, a friend of mine and her twin sister. I think, my friends saw me struggling with the business a little bit to keep up. Natalie was looking to, change directions and kind of leave corporate beauty and get more into green beauty and smaller businesses, and she really loved the idea of working with a young business and helping it grow. So she came on board, and I wasn't even looking for a partner at the time, but I was just open to help, and I felt like I was drowning, so I was like open to anyone helping me, and she came on board and just changed the business and has made it what it is today. So without her support, I really don't think we would be where we are. So yeah, I think it's just kind of being open to who comes forward and offers help or is interested in working with you. We have a lot of people reaching out to work with us, which is really amazing. Kind of taking a moment and saying, oh, do we need that skill set right now? Would they be beneficial to the team? So yeah, it's always just a work in progress. So we're lucky right now to be, hiring a few new people. We just brought on a new social media and marketing coordinator that's brought on like a whole new skill set that we didn't have before. So it's all about kind of investing in the team and realizing kind of what we aren't doing and need to do. And I find it really fun to have someone come on and kind of see the gaps and tell us like what we should be doing. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, for sure. They bring a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's tough because, to your point, it is your baby, and sometimes it's tough to step back. Mm-hmm. But once you do get those new insights that you otherwise wouldn't. Speaking of social media and content, I love how timely and also how beautifully all your content is done. So tell us a little bit of what goes behind the scenes when you think of a new piece of content that you're making.
Thank you. I personally love social media. I love images and design, and I think that's at the heart of the business, and a lot of people can kind of see that it's at the heart of the business. So I think it's a really great point where people can connect with the business as well. So behind the scenes is our amazing social media and marketing coordinator, Rudy. So we just brought her on in July, and she kind of took over for someone else. And so she's working on it primarily, every day. Social is top of mind for her. And then her and I work really closely, and we just kind of talk about what's coming up. And, I love social because it's all about what's happening right now, right? Like it's all about feeling what's going on. So right now we're talking about back to school, because back to school is going to happen. So we've planned a big giveaway. Rudy's doing all of the coordinating, but we're doing a how to reduce stress right now with back to school. If you are sending your kids, or if you're not sending your kids, like this is a different time that none of us have experienced before. So we're trying to bring a bunch of different brands together to support kind of just easing stress and educating people on like maybe new things that they can try to ease the stress at home, or how do you reduce anxiety for kids. So I love learning, I think, is where it comes from. And then just being with our clients in a facial setting, there's so much room for education and sharing knowledge. And I found, before I started this company, I used minimal products that were not good for my skin, and I had no idea what to do. And then after going to school, I learned so much that I just wanted to share it, because it just changed my life really quickly and changed the way I took care of my skin. And so that's my goal for kind of our social media, is really to educate people and help them understand their skin and feel comfortable in their skin. And
And I find that's actually such a large component of your content. It is so education focused, and a lot of the times you're showcasing a tool or a massage technique that doesn't really showcase any Province Apothecary products, but you're just there to educate whoever's watching on how to complete a facial massage. Mm-hmm. So I guess someone might ask, you're not promoting a product, why are you still making this video then? Right.
To educate. I've worked with so many clients, and the amount of people that feel uncomfortable in their skin or dislike their skin or don't understand what's happening in their skin is like, it makes me feel super emotional just talking about it. Like, it's really upsetting, and I'm sad, and I really I felt that way as well. Like, I literally hated my body and hated my skin for so long, because it just seemed like so much trouble, and I didn't understand what was happening, and it was sore and bleeding all the time. So I've been there. I can understand that experience, and the more education, the more we can offer people to take care of themselves. And a saying that I love is that we empower people to take care of their skin 365 days a year. So it's really just, the more you can understand your skin, a simple massage with literally a little bit of olive oil, if that's all you have, or a little bit of honey, like that is going to make a big difference for you and your skin. And just about getting to know your own body and listening to it is one of the most powerful things that you can do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that definitely builds the trust with whoever's browsing or looking at products, because they can just kind of relate to the different videos or educational pieces that you have. Yeah. Let's talk about marketing, because I know that it's something that you didn't quite participate early on, and it's not something that you guys kind of proactively go after. So how has the journey with marketing been for you?
I laugh because I just hear my business partner Natalie being like, we need to plan this out properly so we can market properly, but everything's always last minute. The packaging doesn't arrive. We want to launch the product yesterday, so we just want to get it out as fast as possible. So we don't really give ourselves like the 3 to 6 to 8 months that you really need to build a marketing plan generally. So I think that's why we haven't done it, because we've always just been going kind of weeks, months late. And I'm just anxious to get things out. We've been working on it for years. Let's just get it out there. I don't care. People, like, we need to get it into the clinic is always kind of my motivation. So yeah, like this year we're launching a new product in, less than a month, and we just, again, we're still a little behind. We just did all the photos and the video last week. So it's just difficult, I find, to time it out properly for us and to get the packaging and all of that. And we don't allow ourselves much time between, when we get the product to when it launches. We give ourselves less than a month generally to make all marketing material. But it's like we're small and mighty, and we're getting it out there. And it's like, we are more concerned about getting it to the consumer directly and to our retailers directly than kind of building a big plan around it.
But I think what I love about what you guys are doing is that there's always so much intent and purpose. Even for Black Friday, you guys always have this charity and giving component linked to it. Mm-hmm. So why is it so important? I know that it's stressful to plan for these things, but you make sure that there is a giving component for your campaigns when they do happen.
I love having a company where one of our priorities is giving back. I think it's really important. I didn't start a company to get rich or sell a lot of things. It was really the more we can give back and support the earth and take care of each other, I think is a big priority for the company. We're still very small, so I love to combine like charity donations with sales, because it's a time where we can make, you know, a larger chunk of money, and it's easier just to extract that and give that to a charity and have it tied in. And then we also, you know, will give to charities throughout the months and the year as well, because it's just important to us as a business. For instance, like we always support the Honeybee Council, because that's where all of our ingredients are coming from. Without bees, we really wouldn't have any of our amazing ingredients. So every year I make a point to always donate to them to support what they're doing. So it's really kind of looking at our resources and what we can do, and you know, it's I always want to do more. So it's my goal as we grow that we'll just keep doing more and more.
Mm-hmm. And then I think as different campaigns or different times or different topics come up, that you guys have supported so many different organizations, Black Lives Matter Toronto, and you've supported frontline workers. So how does choosing different charities to work with happen for the team?
So we try to make it a group effort. So, you know, for lately, you know, for Black Lives Matter, that was, we reached out to the whole team. We're all working virtually right now, so we do a lot of like email and surveys, and please let us know what you're thinking. And we've done some roundtables on discussions on like what can the company do, how much, like what else can we do, what are we not doing. So I really, you know, I feel so lucky to have such an amazing team that's really open and has lots of ideas. Ask them for their advice or their suggestions on charities they want to see us donating to. So that's where, you know, offering that frontline worker discount came from. That was one of our teammates' ideas, and it was brilliant. So let's do it. Donating to Black Lives Matter or African Basket, like all these wonderful charities in Toronto or across Canada, they've all come from suggestions of employees, and I'm just so grateful that I can listen to them and action it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got to chat with a few of your team members when you were prepping for your mat leave. So I wanted to talk about, you know, becoming a mom and being a founder, because it's quite different than becoming a mom and being an employee. So how did you go about planning for your mat leave and kind of leaving the business behind a little bit?
I honestly didn't do a great job. I really was, I don't know if there's a better word besides delusional, that I thought I could start working at, you know, 3 months after my baby was born. I just, you know, when you've been working for so long and then you've never been a mom or had a baby before, I found it really hard to imagine. I couldn't imagine anything taking up more time. And really, I couldn't imagine like what would, you know, be required to do as a mom. So I was a little too ambitious in giving myself not enough time to really be there with my baby. But, you know, my husband and I made a plan that I would be going back to work 3 months after the baby was born, and he would be taking pat leave, and it would be super easy. Totally wrong. It was really difficult, and it was a huge struggle, but you know, now we're at the 9.5-month mark, and our baby is super happy and just started daycare, and yeah, we've been through, like, this has been the hardest year of our life, is kind of what we like to say, and try to laugh at kind of all the challenges that have been there. But really, being a working mom, I think the biggest challenge for me is just no sleep. Like, working after not sleeping all night has been really challenging. So, you know, I try to be really upfront with my team and share how I'm feeling or how I'm doing, so that they're kind of aware of my mental state. And I might, you know, be a little forgetful, or I have a lot of to-do lists that I try to keep track of what has to happen. But it's really about like getting more support. So I've asked for more support from my team, and really tried to delegate as much as I can out, and yeah, just be honest about it, because I think trying to be the super mom and covering it up and making it, tell them it's so easy is just not who I am. So I'd rather everyone be like, I didn't sleep well and I'm having a really hard day and please help me on this project that we have to do.
And it's like pushing yourself on another level to let go of some of the responsibilities, because I think hiring, scaling is one thing, but then having this additional component in your personal life is challenging you in such a different way as well to let go.
Yeah. And I always just think about all the other moms out there and use them as an inspiration on I'm like, how does anyone have more than one child? I don't know. Like, I struggle with one child. So, it's, I always ask I have lots of mom friends for advice and just how do they balance it all. It's all about, figuring what works for you and taking it day by day.
So I know that you wanted to return to work from mat leave in March, which coincidentally was the start of COVID-19, or at least us reacting to the outbreak in Canada. How has that changed the business and the way that you manage your business?
It floored us at the beginning. It was, COVID-19 totally changed the business. So we were really excited to scale up the business, and we were aiming to double the size of our business for 2020. And we were on the projection of doing that until March when COVID hit. So it really kind of destroyed the business. We laid everyone off except myself, Natalie, and our social media coordinator. So there was only 3 of us doing the whole business for about a month. And then we slowly brought more people on as we could afford it, as the subsidies came through. It was terrible. It felt like we had gone back to having a brand new business. Thankfully, we had the structure. We had a website. We had, I was joking that, we started a new business that already existed before, so we just had to figure out how to make it work again. But it was so stressful, and really, starting work 2 weeks earlier, being like, I'm going to work part-time and this is going to be so wonderful. And then it was just I just remember working every night till 10 and doing the customer service email and doing all the Instagram DMs and just being like, I can't keep up with what's happening. Like, I miss our team. It was really just missing everyone. And 3 people can't run the business, we realized. So it was, and then we slowly, now we have all of our employees back, and then we've actually hired a few more people. So I think, we are so lucky that green beauty and skincare has been, an area that people have actually seen as an essential part of their lifestyle. So we're really lucky that we have dedicated clients and customers, and we've reopened the spa, and we're slowly building the brand back up to what it was. And with all the subsidies, we've been able to bring back all the team, and so we're still doing almost everything that we were doing before now. It's just something that you don't forget. It's like, why does it feel so stressful all the time? So I'm really excited, I don't know, for things to settle down. Like, now we're going into the busy season, but Natalie and I have just been talking that we've been running, we've been chasing the business and hustling as much as possible since March just to keep it afloat. So it's like, now we're going into the busy season, the holiday season, and it's just like, how do we not burn out is our priority right now.
For sure. It's almost like you have to take turns fixing the business issues and also dealing with the emotional impact. Yeah. But speaking of being in skincare, I do feel like it's an industry that actually has seen a bit of growth because of COVID. Because, versus makeup, we might not be wearing it as much, we're not going out as much, but people definitely want to take care of their skin. So how have you kind of handled this kind of growth and interest in skincare and clean beauty?
I don't know if we've taken advantage of it. Now that the way you put it, I was like, yeah, you're right. We should really be focusing more on that, and maybe introducing sampling programs and really trying to introduce our products to more people. But we just haven't been doing that because we've just been trying to keep up with what's happening. But we did launch an at-home facial treatment set. We just started doing virtual master classes where we used to do them in person. So we're trying to take all those educational pieces, like we would go out to our retailers and do mini facials, and people loved coming to see us for those. So we're trying to figure out how to kind of bring the products to more people virtually, because people want to try it before they buy it. So it is a little bit of a challenge with skincare. Yes, people want to invest in it, but I think people always want to try sample sizes or travel sizes before going for a larger size with beauty. So there is a little bit of a piece of us trying to figure out how to get our products into more people's hands. But I think within our clientele and our customers and with our retailers, people are investing in skincare, and people are maybe, changing what they're using because they're going directly to smaller stores now. Like, I, for one, I'm trying to support more local stores. So, and then I'm looking at those local brands that they're talking about. So I think we've been really fortunate that our community has kind of been singing our praises to their customers, and people are looking for cleaner ingredients and cleaner products every day. And I think it's supporting. It's been very supportive, and I'm very grateful for that. And and it will be interesting to see what happens. Like, as a mom now, I'm like crazy, even more obsessed with green beauty and like simpler products. I've also noticed that kind of getting into this new world with kids is just like a whole other avenue that I'm hoping we can take, go forward into next year.
That would be exciting to see. Yes, a baby or a child care line.
Or family. I want to use the cream Reed's using. Like, I can use it, he can use it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. And what about your retail space? What are some steps you've taken to make it more, more comfortable and make it safe for people to return and visit you guys for treatments?
So we have done so much COVID-19 prepping there. So it's actually not as comfortable. So, when you come in, please only come in 2 or 3 minutes before your treatment, and please leave immediately. Like, it's not an inviting space anymore, because we just don't want people there if they don't need to be there. So that's a little bit upsetting. It doesn't really, support the relaxed environment a little bit, but everywhere is now like that. And then for us, it's really like full PPE for all of our practitioners. Everyone coming into the space is wonderful and respecting, using hand sanitizer and wearing a mask. And everyone is, we're so lucky to have such wonderful clients that are, interested in kind of going on this COVID journey with us and learning these new techniques that we're doing. So in the treatment room, the practitioner will have a mask and a shield, and we'll have a bed shield. And then, there's no blankets, there's no cups, there's nothing that you could possibly touch and someone else would touch. It's really just a totally different environment, but it's still wonderful. You can still get a great relaxing treatment. We no longer talk during treatment, so there's less kind of exchange of air particles. So we've kind of just rethought the whole space and just everything we're doing. But we're so excited that we can offer treatments and see our clients again, and especially for a naturopath who's doing acupuncture and seeing clients in person as well, that those are just treatments that can't happen virtually. So it's really important to see people in person.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a lot of changes and things to adapt to.
Yeah, so much cleaning. It's great.
Yeah. Let's talk about, change and things that we are adapting to on a positive note for next year and future projects. What are some things that you're working on that you can share with us?
Coming up October 1st, we're launching a new tool. So we're launching facial cups, which I'm really excited about. We've teamed up with a good friend of mine who's a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. And so we have a video of her showing you how to use the facial cups on your skin, and we use them in our treatments. And then she'll be using them in the clinic as well, but like she can do body treatments with cups as well. So it's just a tool that we've used in the past, and it just has beautiful benefits for the skin. And I really like them because they're a really effective tool that clients can use at home and see instant benefits. Like, they will just plump up your skin skin, they'll tone your skin. They're amazing at targeting fine lines or opening up the eye area. So there's some really awesome benefits, and they don't take much time to use. And I find right now, the more you can do at home yourself, and a lot of people have a little bit more time to take care of themselves at home too right now without commuting from working from home. So I think these facial cups can just work into people's routine, and they're just a little bit different, that the people might get excited about using something different that isn't a jade roller or isn't a gua sha stone. So I'm excited that's happening. And then we have a few collaborations I'm hoping will come out soon, early 2021. And then we have some new health products that are certified by Health Canada that will work for anxiety and headaches. So I'm really excited about some new products that we're going to launch. So there's too many products to launch, so we need to again figure out spacing them out. So I get a little too excited about the product development.
No, that's very exciting. Speaking of launching new products, has inspiration changed over the years? How do you get these new ideas and know which direction to take the business in and kind of come up with these new ideas for products?
These are all really old ideas that I just wish I could have launched before, and I just think we still need them. Some things have changed. I think with COVID, my mindset has changed a lot more to what is essential. Is this an essential product anymore? Is this not? Is this easy to work into someone's routine? So I think that mindset has really changed, and now I'm really obsessed with the idea of multi-use products. So I want all the next products coming out really need to be a little bit more multi-use, I'm hoping. So I think just making them even more essential, and you can use them in different ways. And I'm excited. You'll see what's coming, and I think you'll understand what I mean.
Nice. That's awesome. So for us to close off, I wanted to ask you, for those who are kind of intimidated by skincare or diving into understanding more about beauty, what do you suggest is the first step for someone to take?
To diving into green beauty?
Green beauty, skincare, anything.
Okay. Yeah. I think I would start with massage personally. So I would just start by, we have a massage on our website that they can use, or they could just search simple face massage. And I would actually just start with the products that you're using. Just start trying to give yourself a face massage every night. So that's the simplest thing you could do. And you don't even have to change your products, but you will notice a huge difference in your skin. So your skin will wake up. It's going to have a beautiful glow. So once you kind of start touching your face, you'll also notice where you're holding tension, how it's feeling. Oh, I can feel a pimple coming. So you can kind of start listening to your skin. So that will start the journey there. And then I think if you want to switch or maybe introduce some green products into your routine, I personally love oils. So I love plant oils because I find they really support the skin and nourish the skin. So say you have a whole regime of cleanser, toner, moisturizer, adding in a plant-based face serum is where I would start, and you can add it into your moisturizer. And in Canada, especially with the 4 seasons, being inside, in the summer we have AC, in the winter we just have, no humidity and coldness. A lot of clients that I see have dehydration, especially from stress. So adding a little bit extra hydration into your routine is going to be very beneficial to your skin. So I would add just a plant-based oil serum into your moisturizer to start as the first product to get introduced to the benefits of green beauty.
Awesome. That sounds great. I'm going to try out one of those face massages. Yeah. But well, thank you so much, Julie, for chatting with us and sharing your business journey. Who would have thought that, you experimenting with skincare and providing treatments in your apartments, now you're owning a nationally distributed skincare line. So thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Shopify Masters. My name is Shwang Aster Shan. I would love to hear what you thought about this episode, so please leave a review wherever you are listening. Next week, Felix is back with another interesting conversation with a Shopify merchant, so please stay tuned for that. Until next time.